Kathy Engelberg, you said Caitlin Clark should be grateful of the WNBA. What?
In the world of professional sports, the end-of-season exit interview is usually a formality. It's a quiet, predictable debrief where players and management reflect on the highs and lows. It's supposed to be the final page in a long chapter. But when Minnesota Lynx star Napheesa Collier sat down for hers, she didn't just close out her season, she lit a match and tossed it on the entire league office. With a calm voice and unwavering resolve, she may have just ended the commissioner's career. And the entire firestorm started with one unbelievable sentence about Caitlin Clark.
Her response was, Caitlin should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court, because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything. And in that same conversation, she told me, players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal that I got them. That's a mentality driving our league from the top. We go to battle every day to protect a shield that doesn't value.
What you're about to hear isn't just a player venting, it's the story of a league at a crossroads, a commissioner allegedly so disconnected from her own stars that she sparked a rebellion, and the moment the WNBA's biggest names decided they were done being quiet.
The biggest news in the W is the searing comments from Napheesa Collier in her exit interview earlier this morning.
We have the best players in the world. We have the best fans in the world. But right now, we have the worst leadership in the world. If I didn't know exactly what the job entailed, maybe I wouldn't feel this way.
Napheesa Collier, often known as Fee, isn't typically the league's most outspoken agitator. She's a former Rookie of the Year, a WNBA All-Star, and a respected veteran. She's known for her fierce competitiveness on the court and her generally composed demeanor off of it. That's precisely what made her words so devastating. This wasn't a hot-headed rookie or a player with a known grudge. This was a pillar of the league, injured and with nothing left to lose, deciding to pull back the curtain on conversations that were never meant to see the light of day, and her first target was the league's treatment of its biggest star.
I also asked how she planned to fix the fact that players like Caitlin, Angel, and Paige, who are clearly driving massive revenue for the league, are making so little for their first 4 years. Her response was, Caitlin should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court, because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything.
Collier revealed a private conversation she had with WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelberg. She had asked how the league planned to address the shockingly low rookie salaries, especially for players like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and Paige Bueckers, who are single-handedly driving massive revenue. The commissioner's alleged response was nothing short of staggering. Collier stated, her response was, Caitlin should be grateful she makes $60 million off the court because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything.
This commissioner could be about the fact that Caitlin Clark needs the league more than the league needs Caitlin Clark. Are you mental? You know what could happen, and I know nobody wants to see Caitlin Clark go to the Unrivaled. Everybody's made that clear. But I can tell you this right now, make it very clear. Caitlin Clark could come out and say, I'm going to the Unrivaled. I'm taking that $1 million offer. You know what would happen? Over 1 million people would start watching Unrivaled games overnight.
If Kathy truly feels that Caitlin should be grateful for her and grateful for the WNBA for her off-season league money, which, by the way, Caitlin had a lot of endorsement deals before she even came to the WNBA. If that is how she feels about Caitlin and it's not the reverse, not Kathy being grateful for Caitlin, that is so eye-opening.
Let that sink in for a moment. Caitlin should be grateful. Grateful for what? Exactly. Let's be perfectly clear. The WNBA is currently experiencing an unprecedented explosion in popularity, and it has a name: the Caitlin Clark effect. We're talking about television ratings shattering records on a weekly basis, games moving from small arenas to massive NBA stadiums just to accommodate the demand, ticket prices skyrocketing on resale markets. Clark's Indiana Fever jersey became the top-selling jersey for any player in any sport just hours after the draft. The league's social media engagement has gone parabolic. Every single metric the WNBA is celebrating right now is drenched in Caitlin Clark's fingerprints. She didn't just join the league, she brought an entire economy with her.
And in that same conversation, she told me, players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal that I got them. That's a mentality driving our league from the top. We go to battle every day to protect a shield that doesn't value.
Shots after shots. Yo, Kathy said, forget what y'all talking about, be grateful.
For the commissioner to allegedly suggest that Caitlin Clark needs the WNBA more than the WNBA needs her isn't just out of touch, it's a level of delusion that is genuinely hard to comprehend. This comment becomes even more dangerous when you consider the larger landscape of women's basketball. A new 3-on-3 league, unrivaled, co-founded by Napheesa Collier herself, is set to launch. They're offering salaries that could dwarf what many WNBA players make. The idea that a generational talent like Clark has no other options is patently false. She could walk away tomorrow, join Unrivaled, and 1 million fans would follow her overnight without blinking. The WNBA's platform is valuable, yes, but Caitlin Clark is the one who just upgraded that platform from a local stage to a global stadium.
And I want to be clear, this conversation is not about winning or losing. It's about something much bigger. The real threat to our league isn't money, it isn't ratings, or even missed calls, or even physical play. It's the lack of accountability from the league office. At some point, everyone deserves to hear the truth from someone who I hope has earned the benefit of the doubt to fight for what is right and fair for our athletes and our fans. We have the best players in the world. We have the best fans in the world. But right now, we have the worst leadership in the world.
But the disrespect wasn't just reserved for the league's brightest new star. Collier then revealed another part of that same conversation that was aimed at every single player in the WNBA. She alleged that Engelbert told her, players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal that I got them. On their knees. The arrogance in that statement is breathtaking. This is a league built on the backs, the sweat, and the incredible talent of these women. They are the product. They are the reason anyone tunes in. The message from the top, however, seems to be that they are merely fortunate employees who should be thankful for the scraps they're given. It's a mentality that views players not as partners, but as replaceable cogs in a machine.
I mean, I could go on and on. You guys already know how I feel. I want to read Kathy Engelbert's statement back to Napheesa Collier. She said, I have the utmost respect for Napheesa Collier and for all the players in the WNBA. Together, we have all worked tirelessly to transform this league. My focus remains on ensuring a bright future for the players and the WNBA, including collaborating on how we continue to elevate the game. I am disheartened by how Napheesa characterized our conversations and league leadership, but even when our perspectives differ, my commitment to the players and to this work will not waver. There's no answers in this. I get it. I think this is just an immediate knee-jerk reaction, just trying to say, like, I'm disappointed with how she painted me, but there's no solutions here.
And if you think this might be a one-off, a misconstrued comment, just look at the recent retirement of a WNBA legend, Elena Del Don. She was a 2-time MVP, one of the faces of the league for over a decade. When she announced she was stepping away, she mentioned she heard from almost everyone across the league, with one glaring exception, the commissioner. That silence speaks volumes. It paints a picture of a leader who is fundamentally disconnected from the very people who make the league what it is. It suggests a pattern of behavior where the player's value is seen only through the lens of what they do for the league, not who they are as people or professionals.
Since I've been in the league, you've heard the constant concerns about officiating, and it has now reached levels of inconsistency that plague our sport and undermine the integrity in which it operates. Whether the league cares about the health of the players is one thing, but to also not care about the product we put on the floor is truly self-sabotage. Year after year, the only thing that remains consistent is the lack of accountability from our league.
For Napheesa Collier, this wasn't just a philosophical debate. It was deeply personal. Her season was cut short by a devastating injury, one that happened on a physical play where there was no whistle. Player safety and the quality of officiating have been the #1 complaint in the WNBA for years. Players feel like the league allows games to get overly physical to the point of being dangerous, without holding referees accountable for controlling the game. Collier is the living embodiment of that failure. Her body broke down under the exact conditions players have been warning about. She has to watch from the sidelines as her team fights for a playoff spot because the league, in her view, failed to protect her.
At Unrivaled this past February, I sat across from Kathy and asked how she planned to address the officiating issues in our league. Her response was, well, only the losers complain about the refs.
The league is crumbling. Your league. Your league that you should be a leader of is crumbling in front of your eyes. You have coaches crashing out. You have players getting injured. You have all of these things happening and you're like, doo-doo-doo. Everyone complains about the refs in every sport. And if you complain about them, then you're also a loser.
So, when Collier confronted Commissioner Engelbert about the officiating problem, the response she claims she received was the ultimate slap in the face. It wasn't an assurance of review or a promise to do better. According to Collier, Engelbert's response was, well, only the losers complain about the refs. Losers? Let's process that. A player who just suffered a season-ending injury, raising a legitimate league-wide concern about player safety and game integrity, is branded a loser. It's an insult that dismisses years of valid criticism from countless players and coaches. It's a statement that says your concerns are not valid and voicing them is a sign of weakness. This wasn't just pouring salt in the wound, it was setting the entire wound on fire.
And Coach Stephanie White also responded to Fee's statement, and she said, I have a lot of respect for Fee. I'm thankful that we have strong women that are willing to say the things that matter and say the things that will move the needle for change. How things unfold after this are going to be very telling about the future of the WNBA.
Faced with a public inferno, Cathy Engelbert's office quickly released a statement. It was a masterclass in corporate public relations, saying a lot of words while managing to say absolutely nothing at all. She expressed her utmost respect for Collier, talked about working tirelessly to transform this league, and said she was disheartened by how Napheesa characterized our conversations. But notice what's missing: there was no denial of the specific quotes, no apology, no acknowledgement of the players' concerns. It was a hollow defensive response that only added more fuel to the fire, essentially telling the players, I'm disappointed that you're upset.
But Sophie Cunningham has clapped back at Cathy Engelbert, and this is a great post here from Sophie. So Sophie Cunningham on Instagram. So get ready to take your fine, Sophie. Get ready to take your fine. People only know Cathy because of Caitlin. She's the most delusional leader our league has ever seen. And it shouldn't even be about our commissioner in the first place.
If the commissioner thought her statement would calm the waters, she was sorely mistaken. What happened next was a digital tidal wave. The players weren't just backing Collier up, they were grabbing their own megaphones. The first domino was Connecticut Sun head coach Stephanie White, who has already been fined by the league for speaking out. She didn't hesitate, saying, I have a lot of respect for Fee. I'm thankful that we have strong women that are willing to say the things that matter and say the things that will move the needle for change. It was a clear signal from the coaching ranks. Fee is not alone.
I mean, I know you're talking about Fee's interview, and I think when it comes down to it, I think I agree with everything she said. We're at a really important time in the league, and changes need to be made. And so you're seeing her talk about that, and I'm really proud of her for making that statement today.
Then came the players. Sophie Cunningham of the Phoenix Mercury, never one to mince words, went straight for the jugular. She posted on Instagram, people only know Cathy because of Caitlin. She's the most delusional leader our league has ever seen. Cunningham was essentially calling out the commissioner for riding Caitlin Clark's coattails while simultaneously disrespecting her. It was a brutal, direct shot from a player who is living the reality of this league every single day.
And so, there was clearly more going on behind the scenes than we thought there was. And a lot of us thought that there was a lot going on behind the scenes. A lot of people had some wild conspiracies that this whole thing was, just a big conspiracy to hold the W down. And you know what? Some of you guys might have been right. I'm looking forward to see how this all plays out over the next couple of weeks.
And the wave just kept building. Angel Reese, another star rookie, posted her support for Collier with a simple but powerful message. 10/10, no notes. Indiana Fever's Lexi Hull came out and said, I think I agree with everything she said. Changes need to be made. The support even crossed league lines, with NBA star Tyrese Halliburton chiming in. This was no longer just Napheesa Collier's fight. It had become a movement. Players from different teams, different generations, and different backgrounds were all standing together, pointing their fingers in the exact same direction at the commissioner's office.
Look, Becky Hammond just come out and said it, and I've been telling you guys, there's physicality in the NBA, but this is different. I've been saying this is different for how long? Becky Hammond just said, yeah, we got coaches that said if this happened in the NBA, they would be having flat-ass fist fights. It doesn't happen like that. They've got control. It's regulated. This league is not policing its own product and its own players.
This explosion of dissent didn't happen in a vacuum. It's the culmination of what many see as a culture of suppression enforced by fines. Look at the past few months. Minnesota Lynx coach Cheryl Reeve was hit with a $15,000 fine and a suspension for criticizing officiating after her star player got hurt. Las Vegas Aces coach Becky Hammon was fined for supporting Reeve. Coach Stephanie White was fined for supporting them. Even Caitlin Clark, the Golden Goose herself, was fined for a minor comment. It created the perception of a league that is far more interested in punishing people for speaking out than it is in actually solving the problems they're speaking out about.
She's finished. If there is a league for 2026, Cathy Engelbert's not going to be in charge of that league. If I'm Adam Silver, for negotiation purposes, I am taking Cathy Engelbert away from the negotiation tables as soon as possible.
Now, all of this is coming to a head at the worst possible time for Cathy Engelbert. The WNBA's Collective Bargaining Agreement, or CBA, is the contract that governs everything from player salaries to travel conditions. The players have the option to opt out of the current deal soon, forcing a new round of intense negotiations. How can a commissioner who has been publicly accused of calling her players losers and telling them to get on their knees possibly sit across from them at a negotiating table and bargain in good faith? She has lost the trust of the very people she needs to build the future of the league with. Her position has become nearly untenable.
If they don't remove Cathy Engelbert from negotiations with the new CBA conversations coming up, that speaks volumes into how desperate the NBA is into kind of keeping this WNBA charade going.
Napheesa Collier risked her reputation and her future relationship with the league office to say what so many were only whispering. She wasn't being a loser, she was being a leader. She gave voice to a frustration that has been simmering beneath the surface for years, and in doing so, she united the players in a way we've never seen before. They have drawn a line in the sand. The question now is, what happens next? Will the league owners and the NBA, which has a vested interest in the WNBA's success, stand by a commissioner who has so clearly lost the locker room, or will they be forced to make a change at the very top? The future of the WNBA may very well be decided in the next few weeks, not on the court, but in the battle for its very soul. What do you think should happen? Is it time for a change in leadership for the WNBA? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you want to stay on top of stories like this, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching.